So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are doing a Div B West match, Spooky Ghosts versus Resurgence of the Storm. Like I said, this is B West, and I would like to introduce my co-caster for the night. Over here, this way, Thunderkats. Go ahead and say hi.
Oh, hello everyone. Thanks Mustache, or excuse me, Miller, Coffee with Miller. I used to know him as Mustache, for having me on, and I'm really looking forward to this co-cast. I have known a little bit about Spooky Ghosts for a long time now. I was once lucky enough to be on a show with Little Wolf, and looking forward to the games.
Right on. All right, cool. Here, I'm gonna pull us into the lobby. Alright, I'm in the lobby, and then I will invite the Thunderkats. There we go. Okay, so you should be getting the invite. Let me
I just
update
did.
some stats. Okay, so Spooky Ghosts banned first Infernal Shrines. Resurgence then banned Towers of Doom. Spooky then banned Braxis Holdout. Resurgence then banned Cursed. And then Volskaya was the pick. So that was our banning phase. So, yeah, there we go. Should be good.
And that does mean that Spooky Ghosts picked the map. Is that correct?
Yes, Spooky Ghost did choose Volskaya.
Cool. Very cool.
Cool. We are starting. Let's get into the draft. We're on a 30-second delay. I didn't screw anything up. The title is correct. Thunderkats is here. My God, we're pros! We're pros! All right, Volskaya into the draft.
Oh, I'm just the guest. I take no responsibility for this, okay? Chat, I want you to know anything that happens in this broadcast, not my fault.
I'm a pro. All right, cool. So, first up is going to be Resurgence with the first ban. Do you think it's going to be just a bunch of standard stuff? Like, I'm expecting a Hogger ban, for sure.
Hogger could definitely come up, and I do expect medic bans, but a little bit slanted towards the map itself and controlling the point. Also heroes that make it really annoying to fight over. That heal robot in the top center of the map can be really valuable, like Junkrat or Diva.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, Junkrat's a kind of a pain in the butt. So I would like to see a Junkrat ban. Now, that's not true. I would like to see a Junkrat not get banned, because I would like to see a Junkrat in this game. That'd be really interesting.
Do you have a favorite Junkrat build? Do you like the boot build or the trap build?
I am not
Which
the
one
person
do you
to
think
ask.
is most annoying?
The trap build is by far the most fun. It's not. I don't think it's the best, but just like taunting people with traps is honestly one of the most enjoyable things in the game. Just hands down, super fun. Especially when they're like chasing around. It's like I said, it's not good, but it's so enjoyable. All right, so we have a Stukov ban and a Cassia ban coming out. I would consider the Cassia pretty standard. She's super strong right now as far as just a assassin damage dealer. Stukov, why the Stukov ban first? The Johanna makes sense. Strong tank.
Stukov. Many teams see Stukov as the most annoying healer in the game.
Okay.
Just because he has that silence. Right?
That's
he
true.
can really do a lot of disruption if you're not prepared to play around that. So why not ban him?
Makes sense. I usually see Stukov banned in the second phase, but yeah, he usually does get picked up early on in the draft, so that does make sense. If you don't want to deal with it, just get rid of it early. And then a Brightwing ban. Global presence. I'm trying to think
Big
why.
heal,
Yeah,
polymorph.
Brightwing does have
It
a
is
lot.
a little interesting. It
It's
makes me wonder if Spooky Ghosts are going to go for some sort of hyper carry composition that they absolutely cannot afford to have polymorphed.
Polymorph, yeah, that makes sense. We're going to have a Zul'jin as the first pick for Resurgence. It's a kind of a ballsy first pick. It does allow some counterplay, but Volskaya Foundry, probably one of Zul'jin's better maps. Being able to just throw axes on those points where those points kind of just turn into long drawn out battles just favors Zul'jin for that late game potential of getting stacks. So
Yep, you nailed it. I mean, Volskaya is one of the maps in the pool that has the longest average game time, so hopefully Zul'jin will be able to stack up if he can survive the damage coming out of Chromie.
all right, so Spooky Ghost dropping a Chromie and a Lucio. Chromie really strong backline mage damage dealer, not too surprising there. Lucio, good healer, that's great. But an Uther pickup from the Volskaya. Do you think this is going to be a double support comp with Uther as the main tank?
That is a great question. I do think it will be. I'm going to call yes on that. As far as I know, I've only been able to do a little bit of scouting, but I believe Sovereign is the main tank player for Resurgence.
So
If I remember correctly, I'm sorry, Sovereign, if I got that wrong.
So what do you think their second healer is? The Heroic League match that I played, or was it Nexus? It was Nexus. The Nexus League. Hello, we got dropped. Okay, hold up, guys. Interesting. So I was gonna say that so somebody dropped out, so we're pulling it back up. I suspect we'll just redraft and just have an exact repeat of what's happened so far. All right, so give us a sec. Some technical difficulties happening. I'm actually kind of glad that it happened during draft rather than in game, though, to be perfectly honest.
Definitely.
But so
actually, it's kind of a good thing because it's given me time to go back and check my notes, and I completely retract what I was saying before. Sovereign is not the main tank player for Resurgence.
Liar!
I know. I'm so sorry. Miller, chat, I understand if you never have me back after this.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and delete your camera real quick and move your audio. But what I was going to say is that the Nexus League match or division match that I cast, both teams, they took turns. Hop into the draft again. They took turns, but both teams took Uther Ana as their two healer supports. And I suspect part of it was so that the blow up, part of it was the blow up potential, right, with the grenade to deny healing on whoever they're going on with the Uther stun and the rest of the follow up damage. The other part of it, I think, was honestly just a deny pick so that you couldn't have the Ana grenade anti-heal for that to counter the double heal, right? So like with that double heal, they can just dump so much healing onto a single target when they need to, and with that grenade, it could just completely shut that down. So, all right, so we've caught back up. We're back into the draft. I'm still curious what that second support is going to be.
Well, it's not going to be an Ariel.
It's true.
Real quick, I want to jump on what you were saying about Ana really quickly. You nailed all the important points, but let's project that forward. If Resurgence does go Uther Ana, do we maybe see a Spelljin with Guillotine? With the nano boost? Is that even a thing? I don't know.
It's terrifying, but like the burst is there, right? If they've been practicing, which you see this with NGS teams, right? Like sometimes they just bring these insane combos that they've just been practicing to death, right? So if you see like something like a Zul'jin net with an Uther stun and Ana nano boost, nano boost, if you combo all of that, you can just delete a target. Just absolutely delete them, especially with something like a Sonya Leap. So we might see something like that, but I suspect it's going to be a Tazdingo. It's just such a safer ultimate, and it still gives you a lot of potential value as well. So Spooky Ghost is going to pick up that ETC Sylvanas. Sylvanas giving them a lot of push potential if they were to win an objective, makes those objectives a lot scarier, and then ETC just a very standard tank that you see in a lot of games.
I have to give a tip of the hat here to Resurgence. It's very clear to me that they've done their scouting here. Johanna is the most played tank by Gola from Spooky Ghosts, and ETC is the second most. So they've taken away the most comfortable tank. Gola has gotten what I can only assume is his second most comfortable, and we'll see how it does.
Yeah. You mean May, right? You said ETC, but I'm pretty sure you meant May. Second
Is
most?
is
Or
everything bugged out for me? I see an ETC in the draft.
yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. I think it was just something that you said earlier. Like, you know what? Seriously, doesn't matter. That's okay. We're moving on. So we
Okay.
got a Li Ming and then the Lieutenant Morales as that second healing. That's actually a terrifying amount of healing for Resurgence. That's going to be very difficult to deal with. Yeah, it's really unfortunate they don't have that Ana for that anti-healing grenade. But they are going to pick up that Rexar for the off lane. So that is definitely a main tank Uther. So you're going to see Sonya in the off lane and Uther as their main tank, with Li Ming, Zul'jin as damage. All right. So moving into game number 1, Spooky Ghosts versus Resurgence. Let's swap into the in-game. Goodbye to our pretty faces.
Alas.
You didn't want to watch that anyways. It's fine. I understand. Double check. Say hello to chat, Thunderkats.
Hello, chat.
Sound is good. Let me know if anything sounds wonky, guys, and I'll try to adjust it on the fly. But we should be good to go. I do have to change one thing once we get into the draft. I got to switch back to observer mode. But once we're there, I forgot to do that ahead of time. Sorry, guys. But once we're there, we should be ready to introduce. I'll introduce the left, you introduce the right. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, give me just a second. Where is it again? Oh, no, wait, it's not in here. It's in hotkeys, caster, accept. All right, we are good to go. So, on the left side, we have Spooky Ghosts with Calidus on the Sylvanas. Always always loses on the Chromie. They're moving around, so it makes it very hard. Gola on that ETC. Eric, I can't read that. They're moving too much. Here we go.
Eric with a K.
Eric with the K on the Rexar, and Little Wolf on the Lucio.
And contesting them, we have Sovereign playing the Uther, Perseus trying to stack on that Zul'jin, Suze, I think, with that Z at the end, playing the Morales, the other support in the composition, Wingman playing the Mage, Li Ming, and the captain of Resurgence, C2D2, on that Sonya.
All right, and it looks like it's going to be just kind of your typical schlag in the middle. They're going to be really careful. They don't want to give any stacks to Zul'jin if they don't have to. Uther with the aggressive, trying to stop that rotation. Doesn't do a stun or anything, and it's just going to be kind of the standard wave clear, slightly favoring Resurgence on the rotation speeds.
Already we can see Little Wolf trying to interrupt that Resurgence rotation, being very annoying with the Lucio when and where he can. That's a little bit dangerous though if he gets stunned by the Uther.
That's what I was gonna say. You have to be careful with that. Like, you could be really cheeky with Lucio, but with a single stun coming out of Uther, that is a very dangerous position to be in. So it looks like we are going to be getting these camps. Pretty standard. Nobody's really willing to push anything more aggressive than this. Although, yeah, no, and they're going to go right back to lane. As you expect. Again, though, the Resurgence doing a very good job of clearing waves quickly and forcing Spooky Ghosts to kind of play the reactive side of things, right?
We just saw Calidus, the Sylvanas, had to take a very long rotation because Resurgence has such control of the mid-top rotation. They're doing really well so far. But I wouldn't say that means that Spooky's in any sort of a bad spot. They've been keeping good track of the objectives on the map. There used to be a Chromie trap on this heal camp that is now being started by the red team.
Yeah, they're going for it. The Uther is trying to anchor. I find it so funny watching Uther being the main tank as like the anchor out there. It just looks so silly to me, but it works, and it does let them get that heal camp, which definitely puts Resurgence in the lead here for this first objective that's hopping up in 30 seconds. So that heal camp is going to give them a pretty good advantage.
On the other hand, Spooky Ghost started their siege camp much earlier than the red team did. Zul'jin able to chunk through that, but they might be a little bit late to the objective. We'll have to see what comes of that.
They already have the Sonya sitting there, though. Like, Sonya's ready to start contesting.
True.
And they are going to finish that camp right now. So They're going to be looking to rotate down, and yeah, it didn't look like Spooky was going to be in a position to really contest that. So I think Resurgence definitely has the advantage in this first objective.
Yep. That Sonya, the W build that we're seeing coming out is definitely enough to force Little Wolf away for now.
Although, a bit of a late rotation coming from the Zul'jin and the Li Ming. It might force Resurgence off this point. ETC looking like he wants to contest it. Okay, they're here now. Zul'jin trying to hit the back line. Okay, this is squarely in Resurgence's court for the moment. And it looks like Spooky's just trying to do some damage with that Chromie, but if they... I guess with that heal, it kind of makes sense that they're just going to let this go towards Resurgence, I suppose.
It does. I mean, it's really tough. They didn't quite hit the opportunity where Chromie had an extra talent above everyone else, but now both teams are level 7, pretty close in experience, and that means the red team, well, right. They've almost completely channeled the objective.
This is it. They have to fight here. And ETC is going to get a stun. The Uther's getting into about half health, but he's going to be just fine. The ETC has to back out. He's low. Lucio, the bear is going to drop. Bear does drop.
Misha.
ETC is forced out, and Lucio... Oh, there's so much damage onto the Uther, but it just doesn't matter with that Lieutenant Morales keeping him alive. A stun on the Rexar. Rexar goes down as well, and Sylvanas is very low with that orbit! Sylvanas drops as well.
Oh my god. Wingman popping off.
So... that team fight definitely went the way of Resurgence. They also got the objective immediately off after, which lets them just bully this first fort. And they're going to move right top with it immediately.
Captain C2D2 responsibly soaking the lane, and unfortunately, Eric with a K, it's not there. There's some damage going onto the front wall in bottom and in top from the Triglav Protector.
Oof. That's not where you want to be. But with 3 people dead, how do you respond to that? It's hard because you can't be everywhere.
Sure is.
There's only 2 people. And it looks like it's just going to be a wall though. They did not get that healing fountain, and they missed with that creepy hand on the fort. So it looks like they're just going to try to do some siege damage while they can, but I don't think they can kill it. Yeah, it looks like
the Chromie damage is enough to push him back. So funny that you called it the creepy hand. I've never heard that before, but it is kind of creepy, isn't it?
I'm sorry, I say that because of Leoric. Leoric's got the creepy hand, and it's almost identical. Stun onto the ETC, but he slides out. He's going to be just fine. Could you do me a favor? Check how is Zul'jin's stacks going? Because I just realized that they picked a Rexar against a Zul'jin, and I saw it earlier in that team fight where Zul'jin was happy to just auto-attack that Misha and just get his stack. So I'm kind of curious to see where he's at right now.
Yeah, so out of the 40 required to complete the quest, Zul'jin has currently got 6. And in addition, he's got 14 stacks of the Arcanite axes. Ooh. Recklessness is the level 1 talent. Taz Dingo, the level 10 ultimate. So it's a bit of a hybrid build. I wouldn't call this Spelljin.
Okay.
But bit of a hybrid there.
Well, that makes sense. I would have really liked to see the B team, but I just don't think
it would have been really cool, and with the double support, right?
Of all the times to do it, I think this was the comp. That Rexar getting super low, but is going to be able to walk away. Uther with that Lieutenant Morales is just absolutely impossible to heal.
I mean, how do you kill someone through the Morales shielding, through the Uther armor?
Yeah.
And I want to point out another talent choice that you called from downtown. It is a Leap Sonya.
Is it? Nice. Yeah, I'm excited about that. You usually see Wrath of the Berserker on most Sonyas that I've seen lately in that offlane, but I love seeing Leap just giving them that engage potential. Just going on to Zul'jin, but he's unstoppable and just walks out, turns around, and just starts auto-attacking. The mind control, though! But with that armor, you just can't kill him, and now he's got the attack speed bonus. Oh, good job
on the stim.
Yeah, what happened to the... Oh, the mosh did not go off. I thought the mosh got popped, but it did not.
Went on... Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Slowing Sands went on cooldown, but that can be recast anytime. That was just very unfortunate for Spooky Ghost there. They had to fight in the wave of their opponent. They were constantly taking extra damage, so I'm glad that they were able to disengage there and wait until something more worthwhile to fight over.
I agree. I'm surprised I didn't see a Leap come out, although there wasn't really a good target for her to jump on just yet.
That's true. You know, we got to compliment everybody staying spread, being careful.
This ETC in the bush, stun onto the Zul'jin, and the mosh gets the... Oh man, the Li Ming blinked into it. Some big
Oh,
damage
no.
coming out from the Sylvanas. Oh my goodness, they're everywhere. Zul'jin pops Tazdingo a little bit early. Oh my goodness. A bunch of ults got blown and not a whole lot happened. And both teams still looking quite healthy.
There's only a few ultimates not left used, and Boars
Zul'jin!
is one of
Oh
them.
my goodness. Zul'jin just absolutely getting blown up. Uther dropping as well. What a fantastic slide into the Chromie damage. Just melted the Zul'jin. And without that Tazdingo, he had nothing to keep him alive. And here's that
I
Sylvanas.
have to wonder if there was a little bit of miscommunication there on the comms of Resurgence of the Storm. C2D2, the captain, was already moving away towards the mid lane when his team members were dying. Now that's a good thing to catch the experience when you are down personnel, but it seemed a little bit disjointed. They weren't ready for the engage coming from the blue team.
Right, well, in the meantime, that Sonya went down and stole that turret to try and get some sort of advantage, and is going to be looking to push that mid fort.
And it's really low.
It is, but she is rotating up in order to fight over this objective. We're still at 60%, so Resurgence has the 13 talent advantage for the moment, and they are going to use that advantage to take the point away from this Misha. Yeah, that
Not
bear,
without getting some stacks first.
That's a
Ooh.
dead bear.
That is a dead bear, sir. Oh, jeez. I gotta point out, mid-fort surviving that last wave that C2D2 pushed in with 102 hit points. It is a sneeze away.
Oh, shoot. There we go. Okay, it looks like they are kind of posturing to try and take this heal camp. And, yep, sure enough, they are moving on to the heal camp right now to try and take it. It's already down to half health. It should be down quickly with the ETC to peel. And that time stop, yep, that is going to go... Oh, if they grab it.
They gotta grab it.
Grab it. There it
Oh,
is.
there we go.
Spooky Ghost with that heal advantage. Well, no, not advantage, because Lieutenant Morales has that heal as well. He is looking to try and engage. He slides in, but misses. Zul'jin turning around and just auto-attacking away. ETC's down to half health. They had to drop their heal. Oh, the mind control
on Sonya, but then a cleanse.
Oh, what a fantastic cleanse. The Boar's coming out, though. Li Ming getting low. Uther very far forward. That Marsh on the treadmill gets Lieutenant Morales, but the Uther does die for it. But now he can just heal. And healing it, that's what he's doing. Zul'jin's just auto-attacking.
Absolutely.
Just chunking the damage. Oh, the Chromie is so low. The Li Ming is going to get the resets. Rexar is going to be able to walk away. My goodness, what a weird...
That was so intense.
What a weird team fight. That was like two different locations. I was having a very hard time keeping track of what was going on, to be perfectly honest.
Absolutely, because Wingman and the cojones on this guy was diving deep into the back line of Spooky Ghosts with, I might add, Glass Cannon. Very risky play, but it absolutely paid off. He was able to kill the Chromie there. The ETC went down, and now top fort goes down.
Is that a I'm trying to remember the quick commands. I'm gonna just let you pull up what talents are on that Li Ming. Is this an orb meaning, or is it?
It is not. There is the standard Calamity at level 7. Thank goodness. Though there is Triumvirate for the orb cooldown reset at level 4.
Okay.
Level 1 is the standard Power Hungry Globes talent.
Okay.
Glass Cannon instead of the more normal Illusionist at 13. High risk, high reward talent. So far, Wingman's pulling it off.
Which
last fort looks like it might be wiped off the map here as the
Yeah.
red team picks up the 16 talent here.
With that robot being as strong as it is, I don't see how they can defend this fort. And the Sonya's walking up and the Uther's walking up. They're ready to engage. They do have some squishies in that. What do you call that thing, by the way? I keep calling it the robot.
The Protector, the Triglav Protector is the given name, but honestly, we could start calling it the Gundam if you want. Whatever floats your boat, man.
I've just been calling it because I keep wanting to call it the Punisher, and it's definitely not the Punisher. But it acts similar to a Punisher, I feel like.
It sure does, and it's Punisher
An
size,
aggressive
right?
move onto the Rexar. Oh, he got the stun. The Rexar is going to start getting chunked. The ultimate dropping. That is a dead bear and a dead half ogre. And they're going to steal that camp. Very aggressive play by Resurgence, and it definitely paid off. They had to
Aggressive
use
but proper. They had the talent lead. Oh my god,
jump.
the leap!
Sonya going in for the aggressive play to steal this camp.
We don't want the top camp. We want the bottom camp. We want all the camps. Give us your camps, says Red Team.
Jesus. That was interesting because she did that absolutely blind, had no idea. There was no vision. They just guessed and said, you know what? I think they're on this camp and we want it. So he just leaped in, went for it, and it paid off. It scared Spooky Ghost off of it. They said, you know what? That Sonya's crazy. We're backing out.
You really don't want to mess with a crazy lady. Let me tell you that.
That's true. They looks like they're starting to posture, get ready for this heal camp. Probably going to be the main point of contention right about now after a couple sprays, some cheeky sprays.
That's right. The blue team, Spooky Ghost, they have the 16 talent tier. A lot of camps have been stolen away from them, but maybe they can take this one.
Well, it's open, it's ready. Oh, but they're the boop off. I can't even tell what's going on. The Uther is in the middle of it, but he doesn't have his ult, and he's dropping super low. There it goes. It goes off. The Sonya leap onto the entire line. The ETC drops. Oh, the Lucio's super low, but also goes down. My goodness, Resurgence able to turn this around, take that camp. My gosh, there was no mosh. I'm kind of surprised. I thought that the ETC was going to pop the mosh on that point, but he did not use it, and I think he kind of took a lot of damage. Maybe the Sonya leap interrupted it, but this is turning into a very strong top lane push for Resurgence. It's definitely a key.
Absolutely. I don't think there was a mosh in that fight, and the other deciding factor is that this Zildjian is scaling. He is nearly complete with his baseline quest. He's got 70 stacks of the Arcanite axes. This is a very dangerous hero that has scaled well as we approach the late game here.
He really needs to hit that 150. Once he does that, those axes are going to be dangerous. But until then, it's still just kind of, you know, it's good, it's annoying, it's good damage, but it's not quite as impactful as that double spinning blades for the build that he went. So he really needs to get those.
Because he did go wrong place, wrong time. So he absolutely, you're right, he wants the double spin.
How close is he? He's got to be close.
He is now 26 out of 30.
Oh, okay. He's getting there. He's getting there.
Specifically, he's exactly 130 stacks out of 150. Since we have a bit of a lull before anyone actually moves towards the bottom objective. Oh, wait a second. Is Red Team threatening core here?
They might be. I think they're just going to be taking this camp, though.
As always, they're lurking in the bushes, but they decide they want to wait for level 20, and I think that's a good decision.
I think so, too. That will definitely give them a stronger advantage in this team fight. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are back. I had a small child who demanded my attention. All right, so it looks like C2D2. He's not in a bush, so very much out in the open.
Feeling very bold with Ignore Pain picked up. Very hard to kill the Sonya at this point. We also see the upgraded Stim, Hyperactivity, the Amani Resilience, upgraded Tazdingo, Tal Rasha's Elements to make that Li Ming even scarier when she dives the backline, and Divine Hurricane. What do you think about the huge stuns coming out of the Uther?
I honestly like it at this point. If you're going to go the stun ultimate as the main tank, I think you just double down and you get that improvement. I feel like a lot of the times the ability to come back after, although, you know, honestly, as a main tank Uther, that other upgrade that lets you come back after you die might have been stronger.
Redemption.
Redemption, that's what it's called.
It is usually the Uther that we see going down in the fights, if anyone drops for Resurgence of the Storm.
So that could have had a lot of potential there, but instead, ooh, that's a full rotation. They are looking to fight. They have that 20 advantage. The spear
C2D2 has called in his boys, but it looks like Spooky Ghost is getting out for now.
Yes, they retreated quickly as soon as they realized that that's what was happening. They have 3 heals. Look at these Resurgence is so rich. They have 3 heals, and
oh my god, it's only poor
one.
Sovereign there that doesn't have an item. You ever be the only person in your friend group like not to get invited to someone's birthday party? That's how he feels right now. Honestly, I'm sorry, man. Hang in there, okay? It's nothing personal.
Just to compare, Resurgence has 3 healing objectives and 1 turret versus Spooky Ghost's single turret. And it looks like they're going to get another one. They're going to get this other... They want
There you go,
everyone
Sovereign.
to have an
Patience.
item.
Now everybody is fully stacked up. They've gotten their stimulus checks in the mail, right? And they've spent it all on important items that might help them end this game.
Is that a Death Mosh I saw on the ETC pickup?
Oh, it sure is.
Sure
Death
is.
metal, baby.
All right. What were some of the other ultimates? I saw the Boar upgrade for the Rexar. But this
That's right, Kill Command. I think the only level 20 for Rexar. A really strong 1.5 second root that comes out of Rexar. We also see the upgraded Mind Control. That can be thrown out every 15 seconds now by Calidus.
But I don't think it'll matter too much with this giant mecha robot Punisher.
True,
thing.
you can't mind control the robot.
And at this stage of the game, he is going to be very difficult to bring down. Zul'jin really needs to be throwing axes. Oh, Mosh, but the leap is going to interrupt it. The Lucio is going to bring out the shields, but the ETC is still dropping very low and is unkillable. But the Death Mosh gets 3 of them.
Mosh!
But there's nothing. There was no follow-up. There was no damage follow-up.
Oh, no, Chromie didn't have any spells.
No. That was such an
Resurgence
amazing
of the
Death
Storm
Mosh.
is pushing to the core. Do you think they can
Mind
end
control.
here? Are they going to end the
I
game?
absolutely think they can. But that Sonya does get dropped with that mind control. The Zul'jin still has Tazdingo though, and that Punisher, that robot mech is doing a ton of damage to that core. Yeah, they can't stop this. At this stage of the game, that mech will absolutely destroy the core.
That's right.
It looks like
C2D2
Uther's going to
knows
drop.
it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, maybe. Oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Oh, yep, nope.
Whoa.
Yeesh. That was almost a catastrophe, but with the Zul'jin axes coming out, there was no way that was not going to end in a victory for Resurgence of the Storm.
What a finish there. Really impressive. They used the protector to its fullest, they used the items to its fullest, but it was still really close, which is I think is exactly what we expect of two teams who dominated their opening matches and now clash.
All right. So, what do you think? Who MVP? Who would you give it to?
I think I would give it to the captain, C2D2, playing that Sonya. Not only did he get the most XP soak in the entire game, but aside from maybe, possibly, that one blip in the top lane, I think that he was doing some really great communication with his team. For example, when they were channeling the bottom objective and he called all the boys up to the heal camp, I think there was some good communication going on, that he was getting some good scouting, even if it was a little bold sometimes. And that's what enabled his team to not only seize the lead, but keep it and drive it all the way home.
I would have to agree with you. I would honestly just want to give the MVP to C2D2 purely for that blind leap onto that camp. That was such a ballsy move, and I loved it so much. So, well played. We are going to move on to a game number 2 of Spooky Ghosts versus Resurgence of the Storm. So don't go anywhere. And in fact, you get to look at our pretty faces. Are you ready? Boom. There it is. Wave hi.
Hey, stream.
Hello. Hi, stream.
Ooh.
Thanks for joining us. But yeah, man, that was a pretty good game 1. It honestly kind of felt like Resurgence got the swing of things, and once they got that momentum ball rolling, it really looked like Spooky Ghosts were having a hard time recovering. So I'm curious to see how this next game goes. If Resurgence does another aggressive composition, I suspect Uther's going to get banned. I don't see another double comp or double healer Uther comp getting through the initial ban phase. But I would not be surprised for Resurgence to pick a aggressive comp to try and get an early lead and just see if they can 2-0 this. So
I like the sound of that. Hopefully they can play on the mental game. But let's not talk like Spooky Ghost just rolled over and died. Especially after that fight in the top lane. They had some dominance that they were showing in the mid game.
that's true.
So maybe they can meet that head on. Maybe they can design a composition aimed more towards that mid game, or pick a map that doesn't go quite so long as Volskaya Foundry. And maybe they can try and flex their strength there a little bit more. Do we have a little bit of time before the next game to talk about some final talent choices and things like that?
Absolutely.
All right.
I can pull it up here real quick.
Please do, so that the stream can see what's
There we
going
are.
on here. I don't mean to pick on anyone in particular, but as a heal main, I would like to start with Little Wolf. I gotta be a little bit skeptical of the Lucio build that we're seeing here. It is mostly standard with a couple strange deviations, notably Supersonic on level 4 and Rejuvenescencia at level 16. Everybody in chat, give me some emotes for pronouncing that correctly.
I have no idea.
To his credit, Little Wolf absolutely nailed the Summer Anthem in the last fight. It kept his ETC alive for as long as it could have before the Deathmosh happened. But the Rejuvenescencia, the percent healing at level 16, that is usually not the talent we see.
Really?
Usually we see the talent that increases your auto attack range, the name of which is escaping me at the moment, and also gives you cooldown reduction on your E.
I
I
actually
also
did not know
wouldn't
that.
call Rexar and ETC, the beefiest of
Beefiest.
boys, right? Do they really need that percent healing? I wonder if another talent might have been better in that situation.
Yeah, you have a good point on that. With the Rexar being able to heal his own Misha, the Misha is not so reliant on those big percent heals, and then ETC, yeah, I would agree. Definitely not one of the beefier tanks such as a Diablo or Garrosh, who really needs that big boost in health in order to stay alive. So that's a fair assessment. Because I know that you play so much Lieutenant Morales, any comments on this build? No, I'm just kidding. It honestly looks pretty standard.
It does. We see that Safeguard build for the majority, Extended Care at 16 to be a little safer, and Stim for the Zul'jin. It looks great.
Dustless saying, why does every build have to meta? No, there's definitely some deviation. Honestly, you're probably just hearing a little bit of a spicy interpretation, since Thunderkats is a healer main and is very, very, very cognizant of most of the different talent choices for healers.
I mean, Dustless, you're absolutely right, and I don't, like I said, I really don't mean to pick on Little Wolf there. Just if we get the chance to interview him, I'd love to ask about it. What was his rationale? Rejuvenescencia is a strong talent, but why did he pick it in this situation?
Honestly, I go that talent every single time just because I don't actually play a lot of Lucio, and that used to be the way to go. So
it sure did. It used to be a very E-centric build.
So
amp it up build.
All right, back to. Was there anything else you wanted to comment on about the talents? I can pull it back up.
No. I just wanted to say that everything else, nothing really surprised me. I loved the glass cannon that we saw out of Wingman. I thought he played a really nice Li Ming, and I hope we see more aggressive assassins coming out of him in the next game.
Makes sense. Still waiting on the next lobby. I am very scared. Oh, there it is. Spooky Ghosts versus Ruts. Resurgence of the Storm, Ruts. That's actually a pretty cool acronym. Let's get you in here. Invite. All right.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome, sir. Truly a gentleman.
Thank me for my service.
Thank me for my service. All right. Oh goodness.
So,
go ahead.
Do you know if Spooky Ghost picked first pick or map pick?
Spooky Ghosts picked Volskaya, which means Resurgence had first pick, and I actually do not know right now. It is Alterac Pass. So
Little Wolf made the lobby, so I assume that Spooky Ghosts, after that loss, said, we don't need first pick, we're going to decide to take him to Alterac Pass. Maybe they've even got something special cooked up for us. I can only hope so.
I'll ask real quick in the lobby just to make sure that we're good. Just to make sure that that's correct. So Spooky did choose the map. So that means that Resurgence is going to have first pick. So you are
first
right.
Pick once more. Do you think we'll see another first pick Zul'jin?
No, I don't think so. But see, this map is still not a terrible Zul'jin map either. But I don't think that their team revolved around the Zul'jin pick. I think it was just a good pick for that map, and probably something they've practiced specifically for that map. Um, and maybe they honestly picked it just to not reveal the rest of their hand. Like, just pick the Zul'jin and then, like, reveal what they have after the fact, after that first 2 pick from the Spooky. Because they did
Yeah,
do that double healer comp, so I think they were going for that surprise factor to a certain degree.
I think you're right. A bit of a one-off composition.
Yeah. But we will see. Hit him with an R. We're ready here. Bunch of spooky ghosts in that lobby chat.
Whoa. That is such a cool little emote that Sovereign just put. I didn't know there was an SCV who can mine in the Heroes of the Storm chat. And we load on into Alterac Pass. Oh boy.
I'm sorry, I just found that funny because you like leaned forward and it was just your forehead. Like, took up the entire camera.
Sorry, stream. Now you gotta look at it.
Yep, there it was, just right there. All right, cool. Let's hop over into the draft. There we go. Boom. Okay, so once again, Resurgence is going to have first pick. Stukov banned first. Okay, so nothing changed there. Not too surprised. I am curious to see how Spooky responds to this, though.
After Spooky's ban of Brightwing, the previous game, the previous map, I absolutely expect to see that again. Oh, the respect ban on Zul'jin. Well, we definitely won't be seeing him first picked now.
That's for sure.
As I was saying, I do expect that second ban to be Brightwing again. This is a map that can be very strong for global heroes. It's a little more spread out than Volskaya. And a May. What do you think about that?
Well, it's the same thing that they banned last time, so I am not too terribly surprised to see a May ban. They banned it in the second phase last time. I think, honestly, May is just a strong tank right now and has a lot of potential with the Snowball or the Ice Wall to set up a lot of crazy wombo combos. And it's just a really difficult tank to kill. And you were right, there's the Brightwing ban. That's not too surprising. If they banned it the first game and then coming to a map like this, like Alterac Pass, where Brightwing is excels, I'm not surprised to see that ban at all. And a Chromie for the first pick.
Wingman on that Chromie. It's not exactly what I would call an aggressive assassin,
Nope.
like I was sort of rooting for, but it's certainly one that can put out the damage and be very annoying on the objective of this map.
That's true. That is absolutely true. I almost forgot about that. If you're channeling the objective, there's 2 things you do not want on the other team, as a Li Ming and a Chromie. Those 2 can single-handedly just hold a point and prevent them from being able to capture.
I'd like to throw a third hero into that list, and that hero is Junkrat.
And we do, in fact, get a Junkrat for our game number 2. That's exciting.
Wow.
To combo it, though, with the Gul'dan, what an
interesting opening for the draft.
What's the logic of the Gul'dan there? I mean, other than just being a solid spell damage dealer.
I think the main reason that you pick Gul'dan these days is for his wave clear. He can, even in certain situations, be a solo laner. Now, it's Calidus playing him. So I don't expect to see a solo lane Gul'dan, except for, on occasion when soak needs to be soaked. But he will help getting a push and perhaps a rotational advantage on this map.
Makes sense. Also, just to clear out the waves, if you do get those, I don't know what they're called, wolf riders or whatever the heck they are when they come down the lanes.
Right.
What are they?
The map objective.
Yes. When it comes
I'm
down
afraid
the lane,
I don't know the official name either.
I don't either. But when you have that coming down the lane, having a Gul'dan to clear that wave is very helpful. Resurgence is going to respond with a Cassia Johanna. Those are some really strong meta picks, and with a Chromie, the last thing that you want to try and fight your way through in order to get to a Chromie is a Johanna, in my opinion. Just very strong wall of a tank to prevent the other team from getting to your back line, and really just lets Chromie just do damage. And then for the bans, we're going to have Spooky Ghost banning Malthael, and Resurgence banning the ETC.
So now the top 3 tanks, I believe, for Gola are all off the board. Johanna's been picked away, and May and ETC have been banned.
Diablo, you think? I'm curious what their tank is going to be.
I like Diablo in theory.
There it is.
Oh, and an Ana. Interesting.
Ooh.
Now that does mean no hard cleanse if, by any chance, Wingman decides to go for Loop.
I am not. Uh, I'm scared. I'm frightened for Spooky Ghosts at this point, because if you look at their team comp, they have a Diablo who is not the strongest at peeling for his team. And for the backline, you have a Gul'dan, a Junkrat, and Ana, all very squishy targets that if something like a Sonya were to jump onto their backline, they're going to have a very hard time
More
keeping
crazy
alive.
YOLO leaping from C2D2, I think.
Yeah, I suspect you're right. And so with a Cassia and a Sonya and a Johanna, all three of those heroes have the capability to just dive onto the backline and do a lot of work.
You're absolutely right. It makes this last pick really important. I hope we can see someone with a lot of peel,
Blaze,
maybe
there
a
it is.
Blaze with
I
a
was
bunker to
about
get
to
into.
say it. I was
Yes.
about to say
We were
it's
both
gotta
on the
be a
same
Blaze.
wavelength, man.
I can't think of any other offlaner who would provide what you would need, what this team would need in order to keep that backline alive. So I am happy to see that Blaze. Hopefully, that is enough to keep their backline safe and healthy so that they can do the Junkrat and the Gul'dan damage that they need. And now with an Ana to be able to nano boost that Gul'dan, he is a very frightening orc. So
overall, as we load in, looking at these two drafts side by side, who would you give the edge to based on composition alone?
I still think, even with the Blaze, I'm super happy that they picked up the Blaze. It does give me more confidence in Spooky Ghost's ability to win this match, but I still think that the draft favors Resurgence.
I think I would have to agree with you there. Chromie, Cassia, Sonya, such strong meta picks right now, comboed with a Johanna for more blinds. On the other hand, maybe with the poke of the Junkrat and perhaps an E-build from Calidus, maybe Spooky Ghost will be able to poke out the objective, be really annoying, and take the game that way.
It is possible. All right, so I am going to go ahead and introduce. We're going to do it again. Ana being played by Little Wolf. Gul'dan being played by Calidus. Blaze being played by Eric with a K. Diablo played by Gola. And Junkrat played by Always Loses.
And we have some taunts, some showing off coming out of the red team. Perseus playing Johanna, Sovereign playing Cassia, Suze playing Anduin, Wingman playing Chromie, and last but not least, Captain C2D2 once more on that Sonya.
I think it's so cool that you know who the captain is and stuff. It just really made C2D2 stand out in my mind because you keep calling him captain every single time.
Didn't you know? The C stands for captain.
I
no,
did not know
I'm
that.
lying. If we get to interview him, let's ask what C2D2 stands for, if anything. Maybe he's just a droid from Star Wars. Ooh, a lot of damage going on
A lot of damage on
there.
the Gul'dan, but it doesn't matter with that Ana and the self-heal with the sucky suck. Yeah, they're going to be just fine. This is kind of standard, right? Like, they just slap each other for a bit in the beginning, but at the end of the day, both teams walking away pretty healthy. Not a lot happening.
I have something very exciting to report. That's the talent choice of Calidus. We have a suck build Gul'dan, Miller.
Oh, no way. Do we really?
We really do.
I don't know about that. That's going to be really hard into the Johanna. The Johanna can just stun him out of his sucky suck.
Right, and she can go unstoppable to not be slowed down while she's getting sucked. Chat, don't say anything.
So the only thing, though, is that is it, right? Like, Johanna is the only stun. Well, Sonya can spear if she goes leap again, which we know that he does because he used it in the last game. Leap can just jump onto the Gul'dan as soon as he starts sucking. I don't know. It could pay off if he times it right and uses it at the right time so that he doesn't get CC'd out of it. It could work out, but I don't know. Hard to say.
I gotta say, I'm with you. It makes me awful nervous to stand still against potentially a Leap Sonya, but even worse, the bombardment coming in from Chromie.
That's true. Oh, that's a good point. Chromie doesn't need a stun. She can just throw all of her abilities into a standing still
from a screen away too.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to dive back into the game that we see. Both teams have taken their Knoll camps, and they are smacking the heck out of each other. Resurgence appears to be clearing that a little bit faster. Oh, Diablo? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's going to be fine. He walks away from that binding light from the Anduin and is going to be A-okay. It is interesting. They're not doing any sort of rotation. Instead, they just have the Sonya in the top lane, Cassia in the bottom lane. and then the 3 fighting in the middle, and then with a Blaze and a Junkrat also.
Right, and speaking of Junkrat, I also want to point out that it is trap build, your favorite annoying build.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic.
That it's gonna be so hard to deal with around the objective if Always Loses can get those traps set up ahead of time.
That is a good point, but he can throw those over the wall, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. I think the range is enough.
That's going to be super annoying to deal with. And in these objectives, if you're defending in particular, you can't do anything. There's no minions that you can have to interrupt those traps. So they're just going to be chomping around and grabbing people. And they can't do a single thing about it to stop it. We are going to rotate back. They are going to be taking these camps. These siege camps in this map in particular are so important. They are such a strong unit, and they are up so often. You can just honestly spam them. And generally the strategy is you want to capture them every single time that they are available, as fast as possible.
That's right. Not only for the strength of their push that you pointed out, but also just for the experience. Both teams right now are neck and neck, and they wouldn't be if either of them was late on capturing that camp. Both teams have just gotten their 7 talent tier. And doesn't look like anything too out of the ordinary so far. Curse of Exhaustion, a big power spike for the suck build. Battle Rage for Sonya.
So there's the thing though, the pull-in is going to interrupt any potential sucks, but if she jumps in and initiates, engage onto the Sonya, he's dropping low, but that pull is going to pull him out and he's going to be just fine.
Nice save by Suze there.
Nice Anduin play. Gotta love it, but that does mean that it is down on cooldown. Which means I think at this point Spooky Ghost is going to want to try to push the objective. Diablo taking some damage, gonna get rooted, and he's brought down with the Chromie damage. He's super low, but the Blaze coming in with the stun. Just able to peel for his Diablo. But now Blaze is in a bad spot. Oh, Diablo's engaging once again. Cassia does go down. Oh, this Diablo is so low. Oh, not quite. The Ana was able to keep them alive for so long. But the Diablo does go down.
Gola has that auto attack build, and I thought for a second maybe he'd be able to sustain through, but just not quite. Not scaled enough, maybe not enough souls. And so Resurgence captures the objective for now. Do you think Spooky will be able to win it back?
Well, Cassia is only just now coming up, so it does look like they're going to be able to push them off. Yeah, even with that slowing sands, the Blaze is being very aggressive up in that.
Eric is going in. Wingman dropping low.
Is going to be just fine and walk out. So it looks like a reset. Resurgence is going to be taking this camp, which puts them in a good spot. Now Spooky Ghost has to clear or go take their own camp to respond. But with these Junkrat traps, it might be kind of hard to push into that objective, especially with Diablo up there as well.
Ooh,
Diablo
speaking of Diablo,
very place. Slowing sands. He is not going anywhere. He has to fight now. Ana trying to keep him alive. Just not enough healing. There's not enough healing in the world to keep that Diablo alive, I think.
Right. Not only does Resurgence have the camp pushing in the middle, they also have Chromie's ultimate. Only ultimate in the game right now, and that makes it a pretty big advantage.
Slowing sands is such an annoying thing to go up
so
against.
Annoying. It was just, we saw it right there. It was devastating against the Diablo.
As soon as the Diablo stopped moving, dropped slowing sands right on top of him and where he wanted to go, and because Diablo stopped for just the briefest of moments, he was not going anywhere after that. Looks like we're going to be returning to the standard 3-man mid with 2 off lanes, 1 in the top, 1 in the bottom, while this objective pushes. I suspect they're going to keep it this way and just try to push all 3 lanes. I don't think they're going to try to stack up for a 5-man push. Not at this stage of the game, anyways. But
I think you're definitely right. Try and soak all the lanes, get that XP. I mean, both teams have level 10, but you always want more XP. Ooh, Diablo in the slowing sands again.
Yeah,
Nano goes down.
There goes the APOC, but they're able to back out just fine. So, yeah, it just looks like Chromie is going to be doing his damage, Ana is going to be doing his healing, and nothing's really going to come of this. Healing fountain going down, but that's about it. It looks like it's mostly just going to be walls dropping all this. This bot fort is getting pretty low, and that jump.
Falling sword onto Blaze in top.
Oh my goodness, falling sword? Oh, the Diablo is going in for the engage. Big sleep and slow and fear. The pull just not in time. Now Anduin getting slowed and is not going to be able to get away. The Diablo stun and the flip. What a fantastic Diablo play there. My goodness. All right, so Anduin and Cassia going down. That definitely puts Spooky Ghost back into this game. They did lose a fort bottom. But it looks like they're going to turn this into some sort of top lane push.
Great rotation by Spooky Ghost to save Eric. Oh, and they might get another kill here.
No, but the time stop. But the Diablo is so healthy. Yeah, they can't do anything about that. Diablo just says, I'm going to just stand right here. And when you come out, you will die.
You will die. And that leaves Always Loses to soak 2 lanes right now. Ooh, the health bars are looking a little low from the blue team as Nano goes down.
Go down. Oh,
leap.
The suck into the leap. That's what I'm talking about. He tried to suck it. It just didn't matter.
Falling sword.
Light bulb falling sword. It's just bouncing back and forth. And Blaze and the Diablo both go down. Fantastic use of falling sword. I'm so surprised by this falling sword. It's working out for them. But I would have expected a blessed shield. I'm glad to see it, though. I'm glad to see it working out. The combination in particular with that falling sword into the bouncing ball of lightning doom definitely spelled the doom of Blaze and Diablo.
Sure did. The Light Bomb Falling Sword is not the hardest combo in the world, but it's not the easiest either. You know, shout out to Resurgence of the Storm. They've clearly been putting in the time. They've been practicing this. And it's netted them top boss.
Thank you for pointing that out. I honestly didn't even realize that was what was happening. Do you cast the light bomb before you jump or after?
You do. And then it goes off wherever Johanna is hovering above, right?
Got it. Okay, I see. That makes a lot more sense now. What a fantastic combo. I didn't even know that was a thing. You learn something new every day.
Yes, sir, and props to them. I mean, as an Anduin player myself, I got a little worried. Oh, Joe's not in position to get that light bomb on anyone. There won't be any value. But then, the falling sword.
Fantastic. All right, so Spooky Ghost did take their camp. Johanna looks like she wants to try and clear that, but wisely moves back as Spooky Ghost moves into a position to try and get a gank. But how do you gank a Johanna? That's just so hard to do. It kind of looks like Spooky Ghost doesn't really know what to do with this stage.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are on even talent tiers, even though Resurgence is a level ahead. If I were in the shoes of Spooky Ghost, I would say fight, fight, fight.
Yeah, this is they don't want to play passive here because no, that was a Resurgence vision. Because what's going to happen here is Resurgence is going to come down and take this boss, and they can't respond. Roldan and Ana are both mid. Junkrat is mid as well. Blaze and Diablo are going to scout this out, but I don't think they're going to be there in time. This boss is going down before they get there. 100%.
Yep.
There it is.
Cassia may not be the best at bossing, but that Chromie single target damage when you line up all the Qs, ooh.
So that's another boss pushing, and now they're going to use this in order to try and push up and get this objective. And that
now this time, there are double traps arrayed around the objective, but they are eaten by Sovereign for the sake of C2D2, and the channel goes through.
Yep, which means that Spooky Ghost is going to come down into this bot lane to try and clear this boss. I mean, they kind of have to, right? Like, they engage onto the Blaze. Oh, falling sword, light bomb! Oh, that is nasty. The bunker is going to go down, but I don't think it's going to matter. Unstoppable stun! Oh, no, it is not enough. That is a great... Oh, no, the Cassia is getting engaged on. It might be a trade. Cassia dropping super low, the suck, and dead. That's a Riptire being used as well. Some good damage, actually.
Sucking the life out of her. Really good try by the Blaze to get away there, and equally good body block by C2D2 to eat the charge.
And this is kind of the issue with trap build, is that if they have any sort of response, like a Johanna shield, they can just run around and get rid of all the traps. And just
I will say, I also have to wonder if Big As on level 7, the traps increased radius and damage. Is that really the best choice? Personally, I would have preferred to see the silencing traps.
I agree. I think the silencing trap is, in general, a more impactful talent. Yeah, especially with the Johanna being able to just negate the shields, or with her shield, negate the traps anyways. Looks like they want to engage on this Johanna. A great route by Anduin. Unstoppable. Yeah, she's going to walk away just fine. And another objective going to Resurgence. This is kind of what I was talking about, where once Resurgence gets the momentum, I feel like they do a very good job of maintaining that momentum. And you're seeing it thus far, where every objective has been just from a position of power. Although this engage on the Cassia gets blown up. Oh, what a stun! Oh my goodness, light bomb, falling sword, leap. Cassia's dropping low, but it doesn't matter. The entire team is going to go down, I think. No, the Blaze does get away. But my goodness, falling sword, light bomb, leap. So many stuns. Such a giant engage. And hard to do.
That was just devastating. Well played by Resurgence of the Storm. Spooky Ghost, unfortunately, they caught right outside their gate, and you may think, oh, I'm fine. I'm right under my towers. You are not fine. You are not safe.
And that is going to be game. I am almost certain. I would be really surprised if it was not.
Two keeps are down already as blue team starts to spawn.
GG
3
is
keeps.
called.
GG.
2-0 going to Team Resurgence of the Storm. Wow, what a combo at the end there.
GG's, well played by everybody. You know, both teams 2-0'd their first match, but now we see the table in Div B West start to shake out. Resurgence is saying, we're the team to beat. Let's go.
What is the score right now? Is it both? This wasn't their first game, right? Or was it?
Right. For both teams, it was their second game, and in both of their first games, they 2-0'd their opponents.
Okay, I see. And so now with Resurgence 2-0ing Spooky Ghosts, that puts them in a very strong position moving forward for the rest of the season.
I mean, I don't know about you, man, but that's how I want to open the season up.
No losses? I think that's everybody's dream. MVP, who does it go to this time?
Ooh. Can I call 2 people out this time? I gotta compliment again the combo between Suze and Perseus. It takes practice. It is, you know, it's not impossible. Anyone can do it if they put their mind to it. But these guys have put in the hours and they executed perfectly. It was their combo that sealed the game for Resurgence of the Storm.
I would have to agree with you. Honestly, just watching those combos land and happen as consistently as they were is just honestly a treat to see. So you could really tell they practiced it, and it was something that they were ready to bring to these games. So now that they've shown it, I wouldn't be surprised if in future games teams are looking for it and try to ban it out or prepare against it.
Absolutely, it looked very scary.
I'm trying to send a message real quick to see if we can get an interview going on with.
That would be great.
Resurgence of the Storm. We're probably going to have a bit of a disconnect as far as the cameras, so I'm actually going to just keep it on the game summary because
sounds good in case we need to look at any talents or statistics.
Yeah, because we're going to probably have to jump over into the NGS Discord. Oh, yes, we want an interview. He already messaged me, so we will meet in. Let's do lobby 1 of the chatter. So
you got it. Are we still doing video? Should I turn that back on, Miller?
No, you can. I don't want to set it up, so we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna just show the stats. Because I don't.
Hello. We get not 1 but 2 interviewees. Can you guys hear us?
2 of us. There are literally 2 of us.
Can you hear
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yay.
All right, I think we're good. It looks good on the stream side, so everybody should be able to hear you. Well, congratulations, guys. That was a very strong 2-0 victory. I was talking with Thunderkats as we were going through the games. To be honest, I personally felt that once it kind of got past that mid-game stage, you guys got a couple of advantages, you got some kills, you got positioned well for objectives, and as soon as that happened, you guys just started steamrolling and compiling those advantages, and your late games seemed very strong. So kudos to you guys and congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thunderkats, you want to start us out with any questions that you have? Any burning questions?
Sure thing. First, I guess I'll start with you, Mr. C2D2, since you're here. One question that I promised I would ask during the broadcast: does your name stand for anything, or is it maybe a Star Wars reference? What's up? Is there a story behind that?
Long story short, it's like a shortened version of like a Diablo 2 clan and also name that I had back in the day. And I shortened it to this partly because of the Star Wars reference as well. So it's kind of both of those things.
Cool. I like it.
Makes sense, and honestly, it's
Yeah.
better than Shadow Dragon 69 or something to that effect.
Yeah.
It
Well, I
is
don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Cool Sex Sky 420.
Ooh, that's a classic.
Oh wait, that is somebody.
Is it?
Is he in B East? I think, if I recall right.
No,
Anyway,
he's,
with that burning question out of the way,
Yeah.
I'd like to talk actually about the game. You played Sonya both games. How do you feel about her in the meta, and how did you feel about her more specifically in both of these games that you played?
I would have to say that her and Hogger are the top two bruisers in the meta right now. She does, with the W build buffs that she got, she does everything. She takes camps quickly. She does waves. She hits the back line. She can get into the back line. She can kill the tanks. Like, she literally does everything. So, if there's an opportunity where they're going to allow us to get Sonya, we're going to pick her, basically.
So
But,
follow up on that, and
Yeah.
I don't want you to reveal too many secrets, but are you a big fan of the leap? We obviously saw that twice in this series.
I am, especially with the kind of the comps that they had set up and the comps that we wanted to run. I do like Leap, although Wrath is very, 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 very good as well. So I think they're situational, but she can do damage without the Wrath now.
So
Very true.
follow up on that follow-up. In what situations would you choose a Hogger over a Sonya? Because in both of those games, Hogger was not banned at any point. So Hogger was definitely on the table. So what made you guys decide to go with the Sonya over the Hogger? And in what situation would you consider Hogger to be a stronger offlaner?
I think that's revealing too many secrets for our team. but we'll just say that in these instances, the comp and what we were trying to accomplish, the Sonya worked better than the Hogger. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
One of the questions I have and one of the questions I like to ask teams is, this is still early on in the season. This is your guys' second match. Congratulations on your second 2-0, by the way.
Thank you.
What were some of the things that you guys did to prepare for this tournament? We noticed in that second game the combo of the Anduin Light Bomb, the Johanna Falling Sword, and especially in that last fight with the Sonya Leap as well. It was a cleanly executed wombo combo, and it was honestly a treat to see. But is that sort of combo the stuff that you guys are practicing in particular, or were there any other weaknesses that you guys were kind of trying to focus on as you were preparing for this tournament?
We definitely work our wombo combos, the ones that we want to run. I think tonight was a good example of some stuff that we like to run. There's definitely other things that we like to combo off and run, but that's definitely something we do practice for sure.
So I'm trying to remember who actually chose the map. Was it Spooky Ghost who chose to be map pick at both times?
They chose match pick both times.
Okay. I was wondering if that was a decision on your guys' part, if you wanted first pick, or if you were... Yeah, so never mind. I retract that question. So, Spooky Ghost? Or, I'm sorry, Thunderkats?
Well, I have a question specifically for Suze.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I want to ask you, excuse me. First, I want to echo what Miller just said. Great execution on that combo. It was a treat to watch. Very great synergy between you and Perseus. Clearly, a lot of good communication was going on there.
Well,
my question for you is about the first game. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, I was just gonna say, kind of going back to what you guys said about like what we do to prepare. I'll let you know that before this we practiced in like a storm league. And boy, did I mistime all of those light bombs. So I'm glad that I cleared that out of the way. So these games, they were legit. They were well timed. So
Oh, they sure were.
Lots of practices. Yeah,
She's just kidding. She never misses them. She gets them 100% of the time and never messes them up.
I mean, her her Storm League rank might be hurting, but your ranking in NGS is not hurting at all. So they
Well,
they
They're
landed
fighting
when
for
it
their
really
betters.
counted.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's basically our whole team in a nutshell. So
Yeah. Seriously. Okay,
honestly,
sorry. Go ahead.
that's how it works for my team as well. You have to get it out of the system during practice, and then it hopefully will go smoothly during the matches, as it really has for you guys so far. So about game one, you guys ran a double support composition. You picked up the Uther pretty early on, and then, if I remember correctly, you took Morales in the final rotation of picks for your team. What made you decide to go with a Morales as the second support to complement the Uther?
Oh, I will let
so
C2
you want me to answer
take
that?
it. Yes.
So just looking at their comp, we were looking at, okay, what support can we pick up? We're running the Zul'jin, so Morales already with the stim on top of Zul'jin is really strong. They don't really have any dive. They have an ETC, but other than that, they're playing Sylvanas and I think Gul'dan in the back line, which really can't get onto the Morales too strongly. On top of that, they have an ETC, so they have a Mosh, and we need another Mosh cancel. So the Morales filled like a lot of good spots, and I think it was the perfect pick there against their comp and kind of what we were trying to run with the double support Hypercurie Zul'jin. So yeah, it checked so many boxes. It was like the perfect pick.
Awesome.
I do have a question about that Zul'jin, and I realize the Zul'jin player is not in here for this interview, but I'm wondering if, as the captain, you can maybe speak to some of the choices of talents and kind of your guys' logic behind it. One of the things that we were talking about during the game was we were really hopeful to see a guillotine instead of the Taz.
Yeah.
We were kind of wondering about his build. He did go a spell, kind of a pseudo spellcaster spinning blades build rather than that auto attack heavy build instead. Was there a reason behind some of those talent choices, or was it just kind of comfort pick, or was it spur of the moment?
I think it was more of like a comfort pick kind of situation.
Okay.
That's not to say that he can't play the auto attack, but I think just with what we were trying to do, those picks were just going to work better for him in that moment.
That makes sense. Well, hopefully we'll see some guillotines in the future. I think that's all the questions that I have. Do you have any other questions, Thunderkats?
I have just one more, again about the first game.
Oh.
Shout out to Spooky Ghosts. I think they played a hell of a series, personally. I think the time that they had the most advantage over you guys was when they won that fight in top lane on Volskaya. You recall what I'm talking about?
Right. Yeah, I know exactly what
And
you're talking about.
I was just hoping if maybe you could walk us briefly, cursorily through the comms of what was happening then. It looked like there was perhaps a slight disconnect going on in the team comms right then. And then how do you recover from being down, having lost a fight like that, and regain your stride in order to walk away with the map victory?
So as far as the comms are concerned, I think I was yelling at our Zul'jin player for being out of position. And I think he was telling me to relax a little bit. And so that's what happened there. And then, we just knew that they still had a lot of time to get on the point. So it wasn't like we weren't going to get another fight. And we did have still an XP lead on them. At that point, I think we had the 13s over them or something like that. So
if I recall, for a very short amount of time, but you did.
Yeah. So we were going to be able to get another fight. So I ran down to just take their turret camp off the map, even though I already had a turret camp, because there's nobody who could get to me. So I just used my turret and took theirs. And then it was just, okay, well, their mid is completely open. I'm going to push this down a little bit so that maybe they have to send somebody to respond to it. And then when they send somebody, we can try to take a fight. And I'm pretty sure they just let us take the top point when we got back up there. And then they weren't really able to take it back after letting us take it. So it kind of I was really surprised that they let us take it, but it worked out in our favor.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Just as a follow-up, Surf Haas is in the chat. I'm assuming he's the Zul'jin player. He says that the reason that he went the spinning blades instead of an auto attack build was that as he was playing the game, the Spooky Ghosts were doing a good job of preventing stacks.
Oh, right. Yeah.
he most likely switched in order to try and get value off of those spinning blades, and then he took Tazdingo instead of Guillotine in order to prevent or to counter Chromie blow up. I still think a Guillotine would have been awesome to see, but I do understand the pick. So.
Yeah, just going a little bit safer.
Yeah. All right, and I think that wraps it up for our questions. Do you guys have any shout-outs that you'd like to say before we close this up?
Yeah, just quick shout out to you guys for casting. Always love it when we have casters, and hyping up the NGS community. Shout out to Spooky Ghosts for showing up, even though they had a off-roster sub, which is unfortunate. We look forward to playing them again when they're full strength. Shout out to my team for practicing, showing up, playing hard. 2-0 now with 2 dominations. Really good start of our season. And final shout out to my girlfriend for watching and taking care of the cat while I'm playing. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in here and talking to us.
Yeah.
About
Susie.
Suze?
Oh, Suze. Any shout-outs?
Shout out your Twitch followers.
Sorry.
I was streaming tonight, so shout out to everybody who is supporting me. There's actually a few people. A lot of my followers follow League of Legends instead of HOTS, and so the fact that they come in and watch this game and ask questions, it's like, yes, please come play.
Come play. It's better, I promise.
Yeah.
She plays Riot HOTS. So
exactly. Yeah.
That's what I call it.
But yes, thank you guys so much for casting tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, it was our pleasure. Thanks for putting on such great games, guys. Really well played.
Thank you. All right, you guys have a good night.
Yep, you as well. Thank you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. If you want, we can just switch back over to Goodbye Forever real quick.
Sure.
All right. And then if you want to pull it up, we can kind of just wrap this up. Gosh, sorry about the slow switch here. We got to figure out a better way to do that, because anytime that I need to switch Discords, it becomes a problem.
For the stream?
Yeah, in particular. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right. I don't know if people are going to be able to see you. I apologize.
No worries.
Nope, that's not it.
I think people came
I
not
got
for
it.
my beautiful face,
There we
but
go. Well,
for the games.
they
The games
get
are pretty great.
your beautiful face anyways. So, but yeah, that wraps up our match. The best 2 out of 3. Div B West, Spooky Ghost versus Resurgence of the Storm. Resurgence of the Storms obviously taking a 2-0 victory. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Any shout-outs from you, Thunderkats, before we end this for the night?
I think I've already said a couple of times, I think the teams did really great today. I did not know, unfortunately, that there was an off-roster sub. I look forward to seeing more games from Spooky Ghosts as they proceed throughout the season, hopefully without that hindrance. I know it sucks sometimes, but great job by both the teams, and finally, thank you for having me on. It's been great.
Yeah, no problem. I hope to see you again soon for some more games. I'll let you know when we're casting them. Obviously, I won't be casting your game because you will be playing in it. Or you won't be co-casting. I might be casting.
Well, I won't be co-casting.
But you won't be
right.
co-casting. So I do think that I'm going to try to pick up your guys' game this Thursday. I don't think I can do your Tuesday game, but I would like to cast your guys' team on Thursday. So hopefully we'll see you guys then. And I would love to interview you if you win. But obviously
Awesome.
I am not biased in any way, shape, or form, even though...
Me neither. I totally don't care about which team wins the match that my team is in.
And, that team that I used to be a part of. But I'm not anymore.
Right.
So that's the important part. So...
Which is why this is all legal. We're following the NGS rules, I promise. We're super... Maybe by now,
unbiased,
after this broadcast, you have taught me how to be a super pro caster.
Dude, I'm the proest of pro. You're learning from the
For
best,
sure.
my friends. Don't mind all the technical difficulties that I have pretty much at a constant stream of technical difficulties. Don't mind those. Super pro. All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. And I am going to call the stream there. So I need to go to bed and get ready for work for tomorrow morning. So I will catch you all later. Thanks for joining. See you next time in the Nexus.